All right. Should we get started or are there people joining in? I can see there is one more person who has just joined.
Yes, we have dropped the reminders. So
Okay.
maybe we can get started. Meanwhile, the others will join in between.
Okay. So should we
Yeah.
start or should we wait?
Or we can start, sir.
Okay. All right. Great. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining in for our module on marketing, web, and social media analytics. Uh, Over here, just want to check before we start off. I'm sure that you guys should be able to hear me clearly, and also the screen should be visible. Yeah. Good morning, Subrat. Good morning, Subramanya. I guess we are four of us as of now who have joined in, including the coordinator from Upgrad. So we'll get started. Myself, Nikhil Prabhakar, and I'll be the host for a series of sessions which are related to marketing, web, and social media analytics. Now, over here, what you can expect from these modules, what are the things that probably you can take it forward, implement on the industry side, and independent of whichever company or industry you're working in, you will find that there are certain areas that you can pick up from these particular sessions that we have. And then, anyways, in our session today, we are going to talk about giving you a broad perspective of what we can do in the field of marketing, web, and social media analytics. I'm sure that you guys would have your own experiences as well. So feel free to put forward your questions, queries. Feel free to share your insights and experiences that would add to the benefit of all the participants. And without any delay, I think we'll get started off with our session one today. And before starting off with the session, I think it'll be good to just know a little bit about yourself. So what you can do is maybe use the chat, or if you can speak about yourself, then mention about two things broadly. Your total years of work experience, the industry or the domain you're coming from, for example, marketing, sales, business development, operations, consulting, and so on and so forth. And that should be good enough. Maybe if you want, you can also mention about the location from where you're joining. So you can type in the chat or you can speak about it, whichever way it works well for you. Okay. So over to you guys. Let's see the mix of the participants first, and then we'll move forward and take it forward to the session details itself. Okay. It will also kind of looking at your introduction, it will also help me to keep the session in the right perspective. Uh, just want to see if there are more people coming from marketing background, non-marketing background, which industries, and so on and so forth. Okay. So, Subrat, Subramanya, over to you guys. We are three of us as of now, so I think we'll have to
Hi,
stay.
Nikhil.
Yeah.
I'm Subramani Bhatt.
Yeah. Hi.
I have over 12 years of experience
Okay. Great.
in. I'm in finance actually.
Okay.
Last industry was pharma and medical devices company where I have been working as a pricing analyst for APAC region.
Okay. And where are
So
you based?
after my CA articleship, I joined for like a business analyst, then pricing analyst.
Okay, great. All right. And then how did you kind of went ahead with marketing, web, and social media analytics? What was your expectation?
What we get in the like uh, the browsing or whatever we do in based on that data,
Mhm.
we can use it for our business. How it is helpful
Hmm.
and to know where the people are interested in which area of or the product more.
Okay.
In that way, it would be, I think.
All right, great. So then I think what I'll also do is I'll cover that part. I'll show you probably a live demo where we'll monitor a website and we'll see what kind of data then you can use it for your decision making regarding product, uh, regarding other aspects of conversions and so on and so forth. Thanks, Subramaniam. By the way, where are you located as of now? We are not able to hear you.
I'm based at Bangalore.
Oh, you are based in Bangalore. You belong to Bangalore itself?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks. Welcome.
Sorry?
You belong to Bangalore itself?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Good to meet you. Let's give a chance for Subrat as well. Subrat, over to you.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I am Subrat Mohanty. I come with a total experience of 8 years. I come from oil and gas exploration and production domain.
Okay.
Basically, by background, I am a petroleum engineer, and I'm working in Kane Oil and Gas. So currently, I'm located in Rajasthan.
All right. Okay, great. Fantastic. Welcome in. And you work on the side of in oil and gas exploration, you work on the side of which
Yes.
function?
My domain is mostly technical operations. However, by doing this particular executive MBA program, I'm looking forward to transition into management role.
Oh,
I'm interested in marketing. So I'm really looking forward to this particular course.
okay, great. So Subrat, that is one thing which we have in common. I also come from a technical background, and then I switched to the marketing side after my MBA. Okay, I'll talk about it further. Thanks, Subrat. Welcome in. And I think Shubhankar has also joined in. Shubhankar, good morning. Welcome in. And over to you. We were just having a quick round of introduction. You can talk about uh, your total years of work experience, the domain you're coming from, and uh, where you based probably, and probably if you can talk about whether you're coming from a marketing background or a non-marketing background.
Hi, Professor. Good morning. Hey, everyone. This is Shubhankar. So I come from non-marketing background. I'm basically a software engineer, currently working as a portfolio manager with Capgemini,
Okay.
and I have 20 years of experience in IT in delivering projects.
Mhm.
Technically, I come from data warehousing, BI, a
Okay.
business intelligence background.
Mhm.
And I have delivered projects mostly in ETL, BI, big data space for my clients, who happens to be mostly banks or investment banks or um, uh, uh, payment service providers like Visa, Amex,
Oh,
etc. Yeah,
or
that's pretty much summarizes it.
okay. And you're based out of
Pune.
Pune. All right. Great. So I think good to know you guys. I think we have a fair mix of people coming from different industries. I guess oil and gas. Then you're working in Capgemini, Shubhankar. Uh, uh, if we kind of look at and also Subramaniam based out in Bangalore, working on the side of the non-marketing side again. Uh, but I think there is some level of data experience that all of us have. In fact, in my case also, uh, I come from a engineering background, and then I switched onto the management side. I'll talk about it as well. And once again, welcome you guys to this module on marketing, web, and social media analytics. You'll find that throughout this module, it is independent of which industry we are working on. You will find some value from this particular module. You can apply it on your industry side. In my case, I graduated from NIT Allahabad. This was in the year 2008. So I worked for NTPC, and I was working on power plant automation side. And this is where we were looking at, let's say, certain areas of power plants. Let's say in my case, it was coal handling plant, and we would work with vendors like BHEL, Yokogawa, Invensys, ABB, Symphony. There were many, in fact. And we would look at how we can operate our power plants in an automatic way. So this is where my data analysis part got started off. And then I got more interested into getting into the management side. In fact, marketing is something which started appearing naturally as my bent of mine. And then I did my MBA from Ahmedabad in 2013. I passed out from there. Then it's been around 15 years or 16 years now of the total work experience. I've worked across multiple industries and also multiple geographies. So I got some chance to work in Europe, UK, and France to be precise. Worked in Southeast Asia for some time and Middle East, then came back to India. Uh, I worked in the fintech sector before my current role. So actually, I currently work for Vodafone Idea as their national head for customer experience marketing. And before this, I worked for my own venture, which is FinTalks, which is where me and my wife actually co-founded FinTalks. We were looking forward to conduct financial education workshops for both B2B and B2C markets. So B2B in the sense we used to conduct workshop for employees of companies like Nissan Motors, Asian Paints, TransUnion Civil, and so on and so forth. And then uh, apart from this, we had our B2C channel, which is where we were reaching out to people who were interested in investing in stock markets in India, US, China, Brazil, and Singapore. Uh, and it's been around 4 years on that part. Now my wife leads the FinTalks business. I came back to the corporate side, started working for Vodafone Idea last year in October. I've also worked for Hinduja Group, Hewlett Packard, Gulf Oil, and a few fintech startups. With Narsi Munji and Upgrad, both it's been around 7 years now. They had contacted me via LinkedIn for delivering certain sessions on digital marketing first, and then it just evolved over a period of time. I'm also delivering sessions on the area of product management and analytics for IIM Kozhikode and Lucknow, IBS, and a few other colleges. For me, I'm also interested in discussing beyond these sessions. If it is in the area of investing or traveling, these are some of the core areas which I enjoy. So over here, I mean, this is, let's say, just to set the context, and it was good to know all of you as well. What we will do from here on is I'll just take you through a quick introduction about what you can expect from this module, the way it is designed, and the way we will go about structuring our deliverables. So here are the course objectives. Broadly, two things can be picked up. You can identify the different applications of data science in marketing, and not only for marketing purpose, in case of operations, in case of product management, in case of process re-engineering, and so on and so forth. You will find that the way we consume the data for marketing purpose, the same way it can be applied in other domains. We can frame a data science program. In fact, this is where I think, Shubhankar, when you were talking about your domain, then you can further scale it up. Already, probably you have a better knowledge of the tech stack or the data stack which is there. We can make use of that stack for certain marketing objectives specifically, which we'll talk about. We'll also look at what are the data points, like I think either Subramanya or Shubhrat was talking about, how we can monitor the website, what kind of data we can collect. So first of all, we look at what is the data which is available, let's say from a web or an app or anything else in the digital domain. Then we build a model for marketing decisions, and we look at what are the different decisions which can be taken off. Deploy the model, evaluates its accuracy and impact post deployment. So that is, let's say, the conceptual direction of the overall course. Over here, this is how we will go about it. So we have asynchronous content which is there on the Upgrad platform. So you guys will be given the access to this asynchronous content. You will find that this is our backup material, or you can read it in advance before the sessions. There are 5 modules overall. Module 1 is where you get a course overview about marketing analytics, the domain, and the concepts related to it, the fundamentals, which we'll cover anyways in our session today. So module 1 is mapped to session 1. Then module 2 is a deep dive into consumer behavior analytics. So let's say when people or customers are going on our assets like website, social media, mobile app, even the offline stores part, what are the data points which can be talking about the customer behavior, and how can we capture them? What can we do with them? This is what we discuss in module 2, and this is mapped to live session 2, which we have in the coming week. Then module 3 is about product and price related analytics or optimization, very important decisions for any industry. How can we make the product better, and what kind of price offering or strategy should we keep? Then module 4 is about marketing campaign analytics. So if I look at the market, let's say in India itself, it's a very competitive market across industries. So how do we differentiate? How do we build awareness for our products, services? And how do we capture maybe the maximum market share? So this is where we will look at the marketing campaigns and the analytics associated with it. These 3 sessions cover 3 different types of analytics, which is where marketers are working, and not only in isolation, but in association with the cross-functional requirements. So let's say the marketing, operations, finance, sales, IT. Generally, these teams would be getting together to design the important analytics stack which the companies would be implementing. Module 5 in your asynchronous content is about the case studies, which is a kind of optional. I have covered some of the case studies in the live sessions itself. If you want, you can refer to the others and go through it. You will find the case studies are quite interesting. As far as the synchronous content is concerned, we call them live sessions. So let's say today is our live session 1. The idea of this session 1 is to bring everyone on the same page with respect to marketing, the thought process of a marketer and what conceptually we should be clear with. Because on the industry side, there is a lot of noise when it comes to marketing. Everyone has their own definition of marketing. So we'll try to kind of get along with one common understanding of marketing first, and then look at the marketing analytics side. This will help us from session 2 onwards to look at analyzing customer behavior, looking at the product and price analytics part, and the campaign analytics and the modeling associated with it. So that is how we'll go about it. There is also a simulation which has been created by Harvard Business School. So Upgrad would be facilitating how you run this simulation, and we'll have a demo. We'll go through a session where I'll brief you on the simulation first. Then you guys will get a practice round to go through the simulation, test it out for yourself with your own thought process. It's an individual assignment. So after you're good to go with your practice runs, then you move to the assessment round. And in that case, your performance will be graded. Okay, so I'll talk more about these 2 aspects further. But overall, these are the aspects that we have. Do let me know if you guys have any questions or queries at any point of time. For our session today, we will first look at the resource material, overview of the course, overview of the simulation. I'll show you the dashboard for both of the aspects. Then we go through the fundamentals, foundations, and key concepts that will help us to structure our understanding and discussions going forward from session number 2 onwards. So that is how we'll go about it. I have kept some group discussions and case studies so that it becomes more engaging and all of us are involved in, let's say, the session's perspective itself. If you have any questions, you can actually talk about it or you can actually write in the chat. Okay, so Subrat is asking, sir, we will be using Python or R during the sessions for analysis. So Subrat, as per the mandate given by Narsimanji and Upgrad, not direct programming has been included. But yes, if you know a little bit of Python or maybe R, or if you're well versed with certain tools like SAP, SAS, or NIME on the big data side, then you can scale it further on the basis of the concepts that we discussed. But knowing Python and R is not going to be a pre-requirement for these sessions because there's no coding involved in the sessions. All right, Subrat? Okay. So over here now, in real life, of course, let's say for example, for myself, in the current role, when I'm working with Vodafone Idea, so I was working on the customer experience marketing side. We have a big data team which is separate. But then as a customer experience marketing person, what I really feel is if I have a know-how of how to extract the data, how to analyze it on a big data level, then it becomes easier as a candidate to speed up the process. Okay, so otherwise you have a dependency on others. So this is where even in my case, I started relearning Python recently. In fact, Python and SQL are 2 things. If you can pick up both of them, then these days on the industry side, there are very good opportunities because I think data-wise, we will be all good. But we pick up these skills and we know about marketing particularly, then you can have very good scope for getting into roles, especially in e-commerce. Like for Amazon, there is a good amount of hiring on that part, very good roles offered in Singapore particularly. Then even for big tech companies like Google and all, I think Meta as well, they have good scope for that, Subrat. So yes, if you know about it, then it's a plus. For our sessions, this is the timeline, which I think would have been shared with you guys. So 7 January today, this is our first session. Then we have a briefing session on Tuesday, coming Tuesday. This briefing session will be about the simulation itself, and I would suggest that definitely attend this briefing session, because this is the only session where we deep dive and do a demo of the simulation. It's a 1 hour small session, so quick to kind of go through and then start your trial run of the simulation. Our next week has 2 sessions on Saturday and Sunday, and this is where we get into the 2 kinds of analytics: customer behavior analytics and product analytics. Uh, in our session number 4 on 20th Jan, we wind up with the campaign analytics part, and by then you would have completed your assessment run of the simulation as well. So the debriefing session, 23rd January, before that you have to complete your practice and assessment runs of the simulation. Over here, this is the broad plan. Even if you miss, let's say, just in case if you miss any session, then I think the recordings are going to be available. So you can go through them at your own pace, and let me know. You can buzz me for any questions. Maybe I'll share my details shortly in the chat. Okay. As far as the grading or course assessment is concerned, so there is this project, which is basically the simulation, which carries 40 marks or 40% weightage. There is going to be a term and exam, which carries 60 marks, 60% weightage. So overall 100 marks are there, and there are 2 sections of the grading part. You will find that the simulation is not very difficult, but yes, it is quite interesting. And there is some level of fun element which is there in the simulation if you like to play around with the data. Now, on the simulation front, just wanted to check with you, have you guys got the login credentials? Has it been provided to you? Okay, let me show you first of all.
Not that we are aware.
Okay, so let me first show you the synchronous content and the other part. So first of all, I'm not sure if this, maybe I'll share the link in the chat. So this is the platform or upgrade platform where you can log in and start going through the modules. Okay, so module 1, this is mapped to session 1, which I was talking about. Then this module 1 for simulation is the overview of the simulation. Here you will find module 2, module 3, and module 4. These are mapped to each of the live sessions. Okay, so probably when you come for the next session, you can actually go through this module. I think if you've got the access, it's great. If you're not, then do ask the upgrade coordinator to give you the access to this. Here you have some content already available. Go through this and you will find it already aligned with the live sessions. There are certain exercises and questions, also MCQs and descriptive questions which you can attempt. And this is one part. Okay, so let's say over here, once you have completed the assessment, then you move to the next part of module 2 and so on and so forth. So this is UGL platform, the upgrade learning platform. And this is one piece. The second piece is the simulation, which I was talking about. So let me show you that as well. So there is this Harvard platform. Let me type the link in the chat again. Have you been given this Harvard Business School link? Maybe even it's the common thing which is there with generally the upgrade courses. Okay, not yet. All right. So I think then what I'll also do is I'll inform from my side also that you guys need the login credentials. After logging in, you will come to a screen like this, which is where you will find this simulation. Okay, so the name of the simulation is Data Analytics Simulation Strategic Decision Making. So I think I'll write a mail to Narsimunji and upgrade both, but you need this maybe today itself or in the coming days at least, so that you guys can go through this, a little bit of glancing through the simulation part. Then you run simulation as a student. And if I click over there, you will come to an interface which looks like this. Okay. So here, this is the look of the simulation. you will find that data analytics simulation, strategic decision making. This is where we have to land up. Then there is a dashboard report, other section, which anyways in the briefing session, I'll be explaining it to you. There is a background to this simulation, which is you will be playing the role of a brand manager for a company, and then you will be trying to gain the maximum profits, market share, and revenue while you run the company for a few years, which is like 4 years from the starting date. Okay, so this is the simulation, which is where you will actually pick up the learnings from the session, from your own work experience. You will bring your own individual thought process, apply it in the simulation, and see if you're able to scale the company better than your batchmates. Okay, so that is how this part of the project will be. This simulation itself is something that is carrying 40% weightage. So this will be assigned to you guys at the beginning of the course itself. So probably, I think you will get a mail from either Narsimuji or Upgrad and get started on the simulation part. We will have a briefing session anyways on coming Tuesday. So I think before that, they will give you the login credentials. As far as the term and exam is concerned, so there is like 60 marks. It's like 120 minutes, and the passing criteria is like 40% of the maximum mark, but I think all of you will be getting much ahead of this. Yeah, so yeah, Shubhankar, over to you.
Yeah, yes. You mentioned about this simulation, right? Before we move away from that,
Hmm.
so how many? One second. How many chances we are going to get for the simulation?
Yeah, so actually, what happened in the last batch is 2 trial runs is what they got, and then 2 assessment runs.
Okay, 2 trial runs and 2 assessment runs.
Yeah, and you will be informed how many you are getting from Upgrad team anyways. Okay.
Okay.
But there will be a trial run and at least 1 assessment run. I mean, obviously there will be 1 assessment run for sure, but you get trial runs as well.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, sure. Now, what also happens is when we do the briefing session of the simulation, so there we actually run the simulation. So that also you can consider it as a demo. And we generally, when we conduct the briefing session of the simulation, we make it participative. So I'll conduct it in a way that I'll take inputs from you guys, then we'll put it together as decisions, and then we see what is happening. Okay, so that also is one of the demo round.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So as far as the term and exam is concerned, so it is all descriptive questions, and you will find that these questions are directly from the presentation applications itself. Okay, so you just need to refer to the live sessions. You don't need to kind of, for the term and exam perspective, run through the entire UGL platform. Whatever is important, I've tried to cover it in this presentations itself. Okay. So over here, this is what I showed you. This is the UGL platform. So there are these 4 modules which you can run through. And this is the data analytics simulation, which is where it is from Professor Thomas Davenport from Harvard Business School. Okay. So Brother was saying, would you recommend attempting simulation immediately after the briefing sessions, or should we wait for a few more live sessions? So I think what you should do is, after the briefing session is done, you should attempt the simulation. Okay, don't wait for the next session itself. You should be good to go even after going through the briefing run, and then before your assessment run, do attend the session number 2 and 3. Okay, so trial run you can do after the briefing session itself, and assessment run you can attempt after we are completed with the 3 sessions. Okay. All right, so over here, let's move on to our content for today. But once login, yes. So login credentials, I think generally you receive it at the beginning of the module itself. I'm not sure why you guys didn't receive it, but let me see. I'll anyways from my side, I'll push NM and upgrade, but I think you will get it before the briefing run. Okay. If not, do start writing mails to the coordinator so that there is no delay. All right. Okay. So over here now, all of us are coming generally from non-marketing background. But I'm sure that you guys would have worked cross-functionally, interacted with the marketing team, or you would have your own experiences of understanding marketing. So what we need to do is we need to converge on a single definition and understanding of marketing first. And for that, what we will do is I'm posing a question to you guys over here, which is you have to define marketing in less than 5 words. And you can think about it and type in the chat what comes to your mind. Okay. Think about 5 words or less than 5 words and define marketing according to your experience, according to your understanding. And then we will combine everyone's definition to come to one single definition. Okay. Okay. I think Subrat has added meeting customer requirements profitably. All right. How about others? And don't worry about being right or wrong. It is a normal discussion, so it'll just evolve. Okay. So take your time. You can mention in the chat. We have Subrat already mentioned. Let's wait for Shubhankar and Subramanyam. Subramanyam. Meeting customer requirements as per the company goal. All right. So there are two things, which is where there is one common aspect coming in, which is the customer. And Subrat is saying that probably we have to do it keeping the profit in focus. And then we have also a comment saying we need to also look at the company objective. Okay? So the company can have objectives. It can be about profits, but we have to do something for the customers. Okay, Shubhankar, anything from you?
Yeah, I mean it is almost the same line, but from my side, the marketing in 5 words, if we want to define, then it is basically meeting the company's objectives in terms of the revenue, bottom line, or top line, or whatever margin, etc. Okay, keeping the customer requirement in mind, because first is our profit and margin and top line. That is the first goal.
Okay, fair enough. So I think that is what was also mentioned over here, that basically we are talking about uh, customer requirements. So we need to meet them, and we need to do it keeping the company's objective in mind. It can be, let's say, revenue aspect. It can be profit aspect. Subramanian also mentioned that supporting and promoting for selling and selling products and services, which is fantastic. So I think over here, if I broaden this and if we had more people join in, you will also find that people mentioned about these aspects. So of course, everyone talks about the customer aspect, which is good to go. Then you will also find that a lot of people do, relate marketing with advertising. Uh, and then talk about, some people might end up talking also about the branding aspect. Okay, creating an identity. Uh, Creating an identity for a sustainable business. Then, of course, we have the aspect of research to understand customer requirements, or look at what is specifically that will add value. So that was where we look at the opportunity size and so on and so forth. These are the various terms which do come in when we start talking about marketing on the industry side. Now, like you guys mentioned, we have a very simple definition if we combine it together from what you guys mentioned. And this is what I think the first point which was mentioned was meeting, let's say, needs in a profitable way. Sorry, meeting the needs in a profitable way. Now, profit is something which is the focus of all the businesses, all the companies, because yes, we can create a sustainable business only if there is profits. Okay. Meeting needs, that means the requirements of the target market, is something which is important. And this is where this definition was actually thrusted upon. Let's say in my MBA experience, there was a lot of thrust from professors that, just sync your thought process with this definition, that you need to meet the needs in a profitable way. Now, this is where another question which comes in is, whose needs are we looking at? Okay, so from that perspective, let's look at another question. So the question for all of you over here, and you can think it from your individual perspective. Suppose there is a retail store, and let's say all of us are owners of the store. Okay, so this one store that we have, is going to cater to the requirements of these few customers, which is, let's say, over here, 8 customers are there. So our company or store wants to sell the products to these 8 customers itself, limited number of customers in a local geography nearby the store. Would you do marketing in this case? Yes or no? Okay. So you can type in the chat. Would you do marketing in this case? Yes or no? Or is there something else which can be done to ensure that our products and services are selling? Okay, so one person is saying yes, one person is saying no. Okay, so Bharat saying yes, we can do marketing. So over here, so let's say if you have to create a team within your store, would you keep a official formal marketing team? If you had an organization like this, would you set up a marketing function in this case? Okay, 2 people are saying yes, 1 person is saying no. All right. So over here, let's look at this concept first. So yeah, so I think Subramanian has already mentioned about it. The sales team can act as the marketing team. In fact, that is what happened if we go back into the history of business. So when companies were operating at a small scale, maybe limited geography, limited product manufacturing happening, in that case, there was no marketing function. The sales team itself, their job was to go and sell in the market, make people aware, and do everything through which the products get sold. Okay, so in this case, what happens is when you have limited market, when you have a limited number of customers and you can actually cater to that market through sales efforts itself, that's the best thing. Because generally people who want to buy products and services from those people who they can meet, see, some trust can be developed. Now, look at another scenario, and the next scenario that you will see reflects what happened globally as well. So, world moved from, let's say, uh, selling in a limited market to globalized world, and particularly internet coming in, you have an opportunity to maybe be at one place but sell everywhere, no limit with respect to the customers you will be selling in. Okay, so look at this case now. We again look at one store, but this is where you are reaching out to masses. In this case, do you think sales team alone can do the job? Can we rely only on setting up sales team? No, right? That will be a huge requirement, right? We'll have a huge distribution network, and more than that, the managing cost of the sales team will be very high. So high management overhead. Yeah, customer base is large. Managing everyone's requirement, keeping it from the distribution perspective, it will be very difficult for sales team alone to do the job. And then there will be competition as well. So over here, what happens is in this scenario, when we want to meet the needs of masses in a profitable way, then this is where we start talking about marketing. In fact, if we go back into the history of industrial revolution, when mass production started, let's say Ford started their assembly line, and now products can be developed at scale. Within a short period of time, many cars are available, many products are available. So this is where the requirement that was given to the marketing team was you use the media and ensure that customers are aware about our product. So advertising became the first task. So if you were joining the marketing team, let's say 50 years back, the only thing that we will be given as an objective is make sure that people are aware about our products and services. That is what we were doing as a marketing team. Nowadays, things are very different. So nowadays, things have evolved further, and we are not just working on advertising, but we have to set up a brand because there is huge competition. We have to work on personalization. Customers are very much knowledgeable. They have huge choices. So there are a lot of things we need to provide support to the sales team to beat the competition. So there are various aspects, which is where marketing as a concept has evolved, and therefore we talk about this aspect, which is our second concept, meeting needs of masses or at scale. This is where we want to do it profitably Now, whether you do it through digital marketing or offline marketing or a combination, that is all acceptable. But we need to be profitable in our context. And this is why people are looking at the data. The data will help us to understand where should we go, in what direction, what decisions will be profitable, what decision will not be profitable. So in order to do that, like you guys mentioned, we need to think about the customer requirement. So how should we do this? We look at this concept, which is a very simple concept. We start with the need, and all of us have certain needs. These needs are also dependent on the life stages. We'll talk about it shortly. But the need is something which is a very basic element. For example, we need physically the water to survive. Okay, this is our very basic need. But if this need is directed towards getting specific requirements, like I want clean water, safe to drink water, good tasting, normal temperature, then this is our specific requirement on that need. So this becomes our want. But then marketing teams comes into picture, or business comes into picture when people are directing these wants towards something which they are ready to pay for. Okay, so let's say if there is a particular product that we create or an offering that we create, which people want also, and they are ready to pay for it. For example, we create smart water as a brand, and it's vapor distilled with added electrolytes for taste. It is safe to drink. And for this, people are ready to pay a particular amount. Then this is where we have created demand. Now, the next task will be to manage this demand, to increase the demand, to ensure that our product stays competitive. This is the entire work of a marketer. So generally, the marketing team will be working on managing demand, creating demand, or capturing and understanding the needs and wants of the target audience. And even our data analytics or data science programs will be there to understand what is going on with respect to need, want, and demand. Another concept that we need to pick up or revisit is Maslow's pyramid. Now, do you guys remember this Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Maybe in our college days, we would have all come across. Yes, right? So this Maslow was a very interesting guy from UK, actually. Abraham Maslow was the full name. And this guy spent his entire life studying how people are, changing their needs with time. Okay? So what he figured out was this hierarchy of needs, which is where entire world, depending on their life stage, can be classified into these 5 buckets. Physiological needs, which is for survival, and safety needs, which is also for survival. If these two are taken care of, then we start worrying about the love and belonging part. If love and belonging is good to go for, then the next worry is about the esteem part. If we are able to kind of get it done on the esteem level, then this is where people move towards another need, which is self-actualization. Now, the question that I have for you guys is, look at this pyramid and tell me, what do you think changes from first 4 needs to the last need, which is a need for self-actualization? How the first 4 needs are different from the need of self-actualization? Any change that you can think of? What can be different when people are looking at the need for self-actualization versus the need for physiological safety, love and belonging, and esteem? Anything that changes over here? How is the need for self-actualization different from all other needs? Okay, any guesses? Okay, so I think Subrat has already mentioned about it. It's a good point that Subrat mentioned. When a person want is at the high point, no. So over here, the point that Abraham Maslow mentioned, and it is true itself, like Subrat also mentioned about it. The first 4 needs, we are at the center of the universe. So these are self-centered. The first 4 needs are self-centered. And I think Subrat mentioned. So over here, the self-actualization need is something where you are not at the center of decision making. You're actually trying to give back to the society, give back to your target audience, and so on and so forth. So now the question that I have for you guys is, can you think of any brand which has positioned itself for targeting those audience which is looking for self-actualization? Any brand that comes to your mind from the marketing strategy perspective, the brand identity is looking to target people who are looking for self-actualization. Any commercial brand or any brand, in fact, which is working towards identity of self-actualization in the India market. Any name that comes to your mind? I'm sure that in case of esteem, there will be a lot of names which will come to your mind. Love and belonging also, safety, physiology. Yeah, I think, yes, you're correct, Subrat. So UNICEF, in fact, all such organizations, NGOs, in fact, if you look at Tata as well, the way they talk about Tata as a brand, it is where they say that, they are industrialist. They're not business people. And they also try to structure their business from the perspective of giving it back to the society. Okay, so there are NGOs primarily, which are or organizations. Okay, Amul, when it started off, yes, from the cooperatives perspective, very close to the aspect of self-actualization. In fact, Mr. Kurian kind of had that thought. LIC, I would not say from the point of view of self-actualization, but their campaigns are, uh, positioned around self-actualization. So it's a very confusing part for LIC. Their product is actually about risk cover. They mix it with investment, but they, in their positioning, they talk about the idea of thinking about your family, okay, securing their future and so on. Yeah, Subhankar, actually, this is what even I resonate with, that over the period of time, Amul lost its focus. Now it's more of a commercialized thing. Uh, yeah, Tata does today also. Geo is pure business, right? Geo is a cutthroat business. Though they started off with giving things for free, but that was a strategy to cut the competition, right? Now Geo has its commercial offering, and they are kind of penetrating more and more aspects. Okay, great. So I think this is where, if you look at from the perspective of last concept before we move toward the analytics side, these need, the interesting thing is that they change, and they change and vary across segments. And all of us would have seen this in our own life experiences so far, that maybe if I go back during my college days, I was very different in terms of my needs. Maybe school days were different. Now things with the family might be different, and so on and so forth. So these need change. And the interesting thing is, this change is something which is where the analytics comes into picture. Can we capture the change? Can we change? Can we capture this, or can we monetize the change itself? And that's why it becomes interesting. In fact, if you look at the way industry has evolved, marketing has evolved with that, and this is how world has moved. Initially, when the businesses were being set up during the industrialization phase, production was the key focus. Whoever can produce at scale, at low cost, they were winning the market. But then, as competition intensified, consumers started getting the power. Then product concept came in. It was important to create a good product, then you will win over the market. After that, it was realized that many companies were building a good product. So then this is where selling concept started picking up. And the thrust was that we should be creating a good distribution. Our sales team should be doing a good job. They should be able to incentivize, convert, motivate customers. But then globalization kicked in. Internet is there. Consumers become the driver. And marketing concept, therefore, was evolved that we should be the first one in customer's mind when a customer is thinking about a product category. Okay, for example, let's look at what comes to your mind. If I give you a particular product category, you can type whatever comes to your mind first in the chat. The category is coffee. Okay, so let's see what comes to your mind. Coffee. Which brand is coming to your mind? You can type in the chat. Okay, let me also type what came to my mind. Somehow I just thought of Starbucks, CCD, Nescafe, or Red Grade. So we have three different people with three different choices over here, which is quite interesting, right? So all of us on a subconscious level, we are thinking about a particular brand, which is where the brand marketing concept kind of talks about that every brand has its own target audience, its brand equity, and what we need to do is we need to kind of target and build this mind share for our category in the customer's mind. Okay, Nestle also came to your mind, but if I give you another category, I think all of us will remember about one name. Okay, the category is photocopy. If you have to do a photocopy, which brand comes to your mind? Xerox, right? So Xerox is something that should come to everyone's mind. Now look at that. How high is the brand equity for Xerox? You will never see ads for Xerox. No advertising, no television advertising, nothing on BTL, nothing on print also. They don't even spend much money on advertising, but somehow they have still built their huge brand equity in that niche category. Okay, so that is interesting thing to look at. So whenever you come up with a brand, for example, Colgate, Gillette, the good thing would be to look at their marketing strategies and how are they keeping up the market share. So we are in a data-driven marketing world, and in this world, why we are there? Because of course we have internet penetration, which if you look at across the globe, then more than 50% people are there who are using internet. In India, things have picked up really fast after Jio came in with free of cost mobile data. So can you guys take a guess on internet penetration in India? We have 140 crore population. So roughly the population is 40 crore. Just to keep a perspective, what percentage of this population will be using internet? Can you take a guess? 95% is what Subrat is saying. Okay. Anyone else? What percentage of India is using internet as of now? Okay, so let me give you some numbers which we can keep at the back of our mind. Internet maybe 60%. Okay, you're close to the number, Shubhankar. So over here, what has happened is these numbers you can remember. 140 crore is the total population. Then 100 crore is the mobile penetration, mobile and Aadhaar penetration. Okay, this is 100 crore. 70% is internet penetration. Okay. It used to be 60%, and then Jio came in. Internet penetration is hovering now close to 70% mark. And over here, this is mobile internet plus Wi-Fi's other aspects, broadbands, and so on and so forth, all of them combined. So over here in India, we are kind of getting closer to, let's say, this highest percentages, which is 90% or 88%, 84% in North America, West Europe, US, and the Western world. Probably in terms of digital payments, India has picked up in the race much faster. Okay. Now, when so much of things are happening on internet, of course, businesses will not lag behind. What is happening on the business side is we can capture a lot of data digitally through websites, through mobile apps, through third-party websites and applications, and we can use it to our advantage. Okay. Now, over here, from the data-driven marketing business context, let's see one example, and then we will talk about these customer analytics and all. So over here, how many of you have, okay, let me give you this as a question and then you try to answer it. So suppose you want to understand what people are searching on Google search engine in India or any other country. Is there any tool that you can look at? I'll repeat again. So let's say I type about digital marketing course over here. I want to understand how many people are actually searching for digital marketing course. So which is the tool which can help us to understand what are people searching? Any guesses? Okay, Google Trends. Great, fantastic. So Subrat mentioned about it. Shubhankar and Subramanya, have you seen Google Trends?
No,
Okay, all right.
not
So
yet.
together. It's a free of cost tool and you can add it to your kitty. Okay, so go to Google Trends and now suppose we want to know about digital marketing course? Are people in India searching about it or no? Okay, so we go over here, click on explore, and it's a free of cost tool, so you don't have to create any account. Yeah, top stories also, we'll see that. Now look at for this keyword in the Indian location, or you can actually look at worldwide, any specific country also. You can look at the trends over there. You can look at past day, or instead of that, let's see it from 2004 till now. Okay. And there is both the categories, which is, sorry, web search, or you can also look at YouTube search and all, but let's look at web search for now. So for digital marketing course, look at this. This is a scale of 0 to 100. If things are above 75 on this scale, then it is trending. That means a lot of people are searching about digital marketing course. And you can see this. There was one pickup. I mean, there was small pickup which happened, but it was below 50, so not that relevant. Look at this piece. In 2020, May, March is where the pandemic came in, and April, May, June, people were busy searching for digital marketing courses. Even now, in 2023, there has been a spike. So a lot of people are actually searching for digital marketing course. Now let's look at where are the searches coming from. So this is interesting. Haryana and Delhi. Haryana, probably Gurgaon. Delhi, including, I guess, Noida and all. So over here, NCR, if you want to kind of look at running your digital marketing course advertisements, or if Narsi Unji wants to promote, Upgrad wants to promote, we can promote in these locations, or Uttarakhand is interesting. Kerala, Punjab as well, from where the searches are quite high. Now, I can also look at, I mean, maybe some people will be searching for digital marketing course for free. Maybe from Uttarakhand, Punjab, that also happens quite a lot. But if you look at certified digital marketing courses, maybe the trends would change. Okay. Now let's also look at what are people searching. See, people are searching for the free digital marketing course, free itself. Then Google digital marketing course. So they are not looking for certified digital marketing courses, but specific ones. Okay. Now let's also look at comparing this. Can you give me another keyword that you want me to compare with? Anything that comes to your mind? Let's compare whether there can be any other keyword which people are searching more as compared to digital marketing course.
The artificial intelligence.
Let's look at artificial intelligence. Let's look at the trend for this. Okay, so interesting thing is AI has been searched a lot, and since 2004, the searches dropped down, and now again things are starting up. Probably instead of artificial intelligence writing entire thing, people also search for AI. So that is why also you will see this dropping. But let's see from where people are searching more about AI. We'll see it over here more. So here there are more searches coming from Andhra and Tamil Nadu. These two locations, along with maybe Karnataka as well, but highest from Andhra and Tamil Nadu actually is where there is high amount of searches coming in. You can also kind of look at it from the perspective of a brand. Okay, so let's say we can look at Maruti and look at Honda. Okay, so these kind of things is also something which you can look at in India, what is happening with respect to the searches and where are the searches coming in from. Now, these are some quick to, see in case of Honda, people are searching for Honda Shine a lot. So two-wheeler, of course, Honda Amaze then, and so on and so forth. In case of Maruti, Swift is something which people are searching a lot, Ertiga and Desire. Okay. So these are important aspects from the data analytics perspective. Let's also look at trending now. Another thing which people are just searching about now itself. So if you see on Sunday today, Real Madrid, Captain Miller, Winfast, this is what people are searching a lot about. Naresh Goyal, Alaska Airlines, Delhi School News. Okay, so this is something which is trending. Now, this is something which is there in India. You can also look at something for any other market, anything randomly. Okay. Europe will generally be searching about football most of the time. So the point is that, there is some data analytics available. So some tools, some information is available free of cost. Some of the things, actually, we need to use a tool, a paid tool also at times. But you will find the information coming in between these three areas: something about the customer behavior, something about product and pricing optimization, and things related to the campaign analytics, awareness, reach, and so on and so forth. Now, in order to understand that, I think you guys would have seen this model, right? IDA model in other modules or in your own, studies. Have you come across this part, IDA model? Yes, right. So over here, you will find that in IDA, the concept is very simple. There is a funnel. Funnel is, it moves from people getting, first of all, some attention to your communication, products, services. Through this process, they get aware. After awareness, maybe some people get interested, and we say that consideration is happening for our product services. This is the stage where people are visiting your website, downloading your app. After this, they might have a desire. So if there are repeat visits happening, repeat interactions happening, some things are being downloaded on your website, people are registering, visiting again and again, then we say that, there is desire which is there for your products and services. And if the action finally has been taken, which is conversion, products added to cart, purchase made, payments done, then action has finally happened. So this IDA model is a simple model, and it talks about, when we do marketing, how the masses or segment moves from one stage to another for the conversion to happen. We use this IDA model to extrapolate it further and look at the entire customer journey, which is like this. Okay. So this customer journey is, we have to look at a target segment out of, let's say, if you look at India market, out of 140 crore, let's say if I create a product, I don't want to sell it to all the 140 crore people. That is not possible. So I'll select a target segment, and I would want to build the awareness for that segment. Now, this awareness can happen through two different efforts: digital efforts or offline efforts. We call them digital touchpoint and physical touchpoint. So, for example, most of the people get aware through mass media advertising, which is radio, print, television. So this is a physical touchpoint where people are seeing my ads, getting to know about our products and services. Some word of mouth might happen, some media activity, public relations effort might happen. These are all physical touch points. People might visit the store, they might see the branding and all. In digital world, I can also run my display advertisements, maybe video ads, maybe image ads on various locations. Through this, we are making people aware. This is the same thing that we do at various stages with a different context. So those people who are aware, we would want them to consider us, visit our website, visit our mobile app, and finally purchase something. After the purchase, there might be a requirement of service. If the people are happy with the product and service, then they become loyal over a period of time, and probably repeat purchases, referrals, etc. might happen. So our job as a marketer and then as a marketing analytics person would be, as a marketer, I would want to design this journey. Design this journey optimally with limited number of touch points, least amount of marketing budget, least number of resources, and make it profitable. Most people from awareness should convert to loyalty. As a marketing analytics person, my job would be to capture the data, furnish for optimizing each of the touch point and making it better for the overall customer experience and the company's profitability. So that is the task that we have at our hand. And this is where, if you go back to the analytics, we club the analytics into these three parts, which is campaign analytics. This campaign analytics is what we discussed in session number 4, when we look at awareness of the target audience through various marketing campaigns. Are we able to differentiate in the market? Are people able to remember about us, and so on and so forth? If this is good to go, then we understand product and pricing analytics part, which is where I need to create better product features. I need to make my product better over a period of time. I need to work on my pricing strategy, other aspects, so that people are able to convert. And then I would want to understand a little bit about what people do after they have purchased my product or in the process of purchasing the product. Uh, what is the behavior? So this is captured mostly from your assets, retail store, in the offline world, or online world, website, and mobile app. So in our module, how we are going about is we first start exploring customer analytics, easy to pick up, most tools available, where we can learn from the customer behavior first, then extrapolate it to product and pricing analytics, and then make this target segment aware with a better understanding. So that is how we go about in our sessions. The method that we'll be using for marketing analytics is something like this. We call this as MDM approach. So all the three sections, so let's say customer analytics, we will discuss in three parts. What is the data that we can capture? What are the KPIs which we can define for monitoring if we are getting better? And what are the methods through which we can understand the customer behavior better? Okay, so here we will discuss about RFM, a concept, customer lifetime value concept, churn aspect, and so on and so forth. And similarly for product and pricing, optimization, and campaign analytics, this is how we have broken it down. So from the next session onwards, you will see that we will take the MDM approach, market methods, metrics, and methods, data, and metrics, and look at each component one by one and see some demos, some live tools, industry applications to understand it better. Now, in order to kind of look at this piece from the conceptual perspective, one more thing that we need to know is what are the types of business analytics. And this is where we have descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. These are the four types in which all the three categories that we saw over here, campaign, product, and pricing, customer, technically we can club them into four different types. Now, descriptive analytics is all those data points or analytics which helps you to define and describe what has happened. Okay, so let's say for a company like Adani Group, there was this Hindenburg report which came out, and then there was an impact which happened on the business. So the stock prices came down, revenue was impacted, market share dropped down. This is all describing the situation. So we call this data points as descriptive analytics. The next thing would be a more interesting thing, which is diagnostic analytics, which is explaining why something has happened. So here we try to understand the correlations. Was it because of a particular thing that our market share is dropping, our revenue is increasing? For example, look at in case of DMart. Now, DMart it was thought that because of e-commerce penetration, because of Reliance owning Big Bazaar, and so on and so forth, the DMart revenues and margins will be impacted. But actually, it didn't go to that extent. So why it has happened? What did DMart do? Because of which strategy they have been able to hold their position? So this is the diagnostic analytics part. Now, these two you will find very prominent across industry. So most of the time, companies are either capturing descriptive analytics or they're working on diagnostic analytics. But the next piece, which is becoming more interesting now with big data coming in, with AI and machine learning possibilities, is the predictive part. And this is where I think, because all of you are coming from operations, consulting, and those backgrounds, you will already would have seen that forecasting things is something which is an important aspect as well. For example, if we are working in manufacturing, then inventory forecasting, keeping the right levels of raw material and all, is a forecasting exercise. So forecasting what might happen based on, let's say, the data captured in the past for descriptive and diagnostic analytics is going to help us to plan the strategies going forward. So we call this as predictive analytics. And one step ahead is the prescriptive part, which is where we are not only looking at what is going to happen, but based on the predictive aspects, can we recommend actions which should be taken so that we can have the best way of making the most of the situation. So that is the prescriptive analytics part. And these are the four types of business analytics, which is where you can see the industry is working. The broad categorization that we need to understand from value perspective is, if these days you pick up on let's say the prescriptive analytics part, then this is the one which brings in most value for the organizations. The complexity is also very high over here because you need to uh, forecast first and then recommend actions which will give you results based on the future course of action. Similarly, descriptive is at the lowest run with this, which is where we are just capturing what has happened and how it will describe the situation. Less complexity, you will find the value is also less in that case. There is limited use we can do, but of course, this is important to capture. Based on this, we can focus on diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. So this is, let's say, the broad know-how of the types of analytics. Now, what we'll do over here is we'll take a break at this point of time. I think let's take a 5-minute break. Then I'll brief you on an exercise which is related to understanding business analytics from a real life discussion perspective. We'll take an example of telecom industry, and it'll be like I think because there are just three of you who have joined, so we'll create one group. You guys work on this exercise, jot down from your discussion what do you think about looking at the analytics problem, and then we will kind of take it forward from there. Okay, so let's take a break. It's kind of close to 11:47, so let's catch back in 5 minutes around 11:52 or so, and then we take it forward from here. Okay, do let me know if you guys have any questions or queries before that. We'll take that up first, and then we move to the exercise. Okay, all right, let's catch back in 5 minutes. All right, everyone. Are we back? Shall we start with the next part? Okay, great. All right. So this is actually a group exercise. And over here, what we get to explore is practically in a situation like the one which is a known situation, for example, telecom industry in India. I'll take you through the context and then tell you about what you have to do. You work it out from your individual perspective, discuss it in your team, and come up with your solutions and recommendation. And then we'll discuss further. Uh, Now, let me first give you the background. I'm sure that all of you know that in India, in the telecom industry, there has been a huge disruption. Okay, so if you look at past telco brands, and before I kind of refer to this past part as well, can you let me know which is the SIM card you're using? For example, in my case, it's V prepaid, Vodafone Idea prepaid. Let's look at what you guys are using. Okay, V as well for Subramanya. Okay, so there are two people. About others, my wife is using Airtel. Okay. Shubhankar, about you, Subrat? Geo, okay, Subrat is using Geo, Shubhankar is using two of them, Airtel and Geo. All right, great. So we have representation covering all the three brands. Now, what happened in the past, if you see the number of telecom brands, it was huge, right? We have Tata Indicom, Uninor, Aircel, uh, Spice, of course, Vodafone was separate, then Idea and Vodafone merged. Okay, your wife is using BSNL. Okay. So over here, you'll find that this industry got reshaped when Jio entered the market. And over here, now you have four major players. In fact, three of them are major. BSNL and MTNL are somehow surviving. So we have Jio, Airtel, which have the highest market shares, followed by V, and then we have BSNL with approximately some 1 crore or less than that people as a subscriber base. So over here, what has happened is some brands like Jio and Airtel, they had a particular strategy. And let's say if we talk about Jio, they came up in the market very aggressive and tried to gain the market share first. And after this, now they are kind of talking about the or working out on the profitability level. Now, this they are able to do because of huge, you know, cash aspect. They have the funding which is there, and they're able to kind of drive out the competition with an aggressive force. Okay. Now, this is where if you look at Airtel and V, they had their own ways of going about retaining their market share, fighting it back, and so on and so forth. So a lot of disruption has happened in this industry. Now, what we are supposed to do over here is generally I make two groups when we have more participants, but because we have a limited number, we'll have just one group. So what you have to do is, as a business development team of both Jio and Vodafone Idea, uh, yeah, Geo did got yes, yes, you're correct. Geo did got some regulation support and so on and so forth. So that's a different storyline. But what we have to do over here is think of yourself being in the business development team of Geo and Vodafone Idea. First, for Geo, you want to expand further and be the undisputed leader while looking at historical plans and performance. Okay, so this is what you're trying to look at. You're looking at your historical progress, and then you are planning for getting even stronger in the Indian market, and you want to expand further. So for this, what you have to think about is what will be the descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive analytics that you would want to focus on and work upon. Okay, so here, this is the context of Geo. Similar to this, you are looking at the exercise for Vodafone Idea. Here, you want to survive first and then make a comeback. So the focus is slightly different from Geo. And again, we have to think about all the four types of analytics that you would want to work upon. Now, generally, I think over here, because the same group will be doing it for both the brands. So I think we can take half an hour for the breakout room and spend maybe 15 minutes for Geo, 15 minutes for V, and try to capture it in a template like this. So here you have or you can capture it any way you want. I will fill in the template for you guys, but you have to think about descriptive analytics. See for Geo, how does it evolve in all the four cases? And then later on for Vodafone Idea, how does it evolve for all the four cases? I'll also show you, after you guys are done, we'll discuss about it and also show you what was the findings of the last batch. Okay, so you will generally see that there are similarities and they are very intuitive, but you will find that there will be difference in approaches between both Geo and Vodafone Idea when we are trying to develop the analytics part of it. So what I'll do is I'll just create the breakout room and we catch back at 12:30 for going through your findings. Let me just create the breakout room. I'll just create one and you will get assigned for discussion. Okay. I'll just create the breakout room. All right, everyone, welcome back. I hope you guys had a good discussion on the uh, telecom industry example. Yes, let me just check.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we'll quickly get back to the discussion which we were having on the aspects of the findings that you have. So over to you guys. I think I'll just keep on noting down over here what you guys have found out. Subramanya, you would want to kind of reiterate on uh, the first part, which is the geo part, as far as the descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive analytics is concerned. So over to you.
Yes, sir. Actually, we had a short of time actually, even
Okay.
though we would have not completed VI. We started Geo, and we have done few points in Geo.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I request Shubhankar also to come in between and share.
Sure.
In the descriptive for Geo,
Hmm.
uh, as it is knowing about what explaining it explains what happened, means it's a complete of understanding of the historical data. So we have to use the demographics, then usage trends, and what are the marketing strategies they have already used, and the service offers they have made. Those are the details we need
Okay.
as a descriptive analytics, for the descriptive analytics.
Okay.
And CRM, Shubhankar, please mention Shubhankar or
Subrat. Yeah,
Subrat.
Subrat, over to you. So we were discussing, Subrat, on the descriptive analytics side. Anything that you would want to add?
CRM.
Yes, a CRM dashboard.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think Shubhankar is also there. Shubhankar, any point that you would want to add on descriptive analytics for Geo?
Network performance as well, please.
Okay.
So we had discussed about CRM dashboards, correct?
Okay.
Trend analysis.
Yeah.
Okay, that is there.
Hmm.
Historical sales data.
Okay. Okay.
Have we covered segment data for Geo? Segment analysis. Yes.
Okay. All right. On the diagnostic part.
So identify underlying network issues and perform RCA.
Okay.
Formulate and validate hypothesis around 5G usage.
Okay.
Assess call quality, data quality. Assess Geo customer care processes and strategize to improve.
Okay.
That's all, Subrat, right? Nothing else, I believe.
When you look at the predictive side.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yes, Shubhankar.
anticipate peak usage time. Something you said, right? Potential areas of network congestion.
Predict potential areas of network congestion. It can be like one area, Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, like that.
Okay.
And then another one.
Future network traffic, which may happen in future based on the industry movement to different areas. Like if it is a software city in future in 10 years,
Hmm.
which move to Hyderabad, then there will be chances of more network traffic in Hyderabad in that.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Any other
Anything else?
points?
Identifying potential new markets.
Okay.
Yeah, there was another one. Predicting customer telecom users' behavior and
Mhm.
demand in next 10 years. So that will be also coming under predictive, no? Future demand.
Basically, demand forecasting.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Anything on the prescriptive side?
Identifying best offers.
Okay.
Mm,
Or strategizing to roll out 5G in big grid cities. Or it is already there. It's not there, no?
No, no, correct. Okay. Okay. Anything else on for Geo?
uh, identifying identifying location for telecom tower placement for optimal performance.
Using network efficiency.
Fair enough. Okay, great. So over here, I think this is on the part of Geo. Were you guys able to do it for V as well?
No, we could not
Okay, no worries.
in this time.
Okay,
But
so what I'll do
we
is I
can
think yeah.
go through this, and even I want to highlight few points in VI, because
Sure.
the VI, the descriptive analysis is mainly because of churn out
Hmm.
from VI to Airtel or Geo. That is first
Hmm.
point in descriptive.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, that is which one
On
was
the
the-
diagnostic side, we can look at why people are churning. So let's say
Yeah,
total.
because of the customer complaints in case
Hmm.
of network issue, or they are not getting good offers.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Anything that comes to your mind from the perspective of predictive or prescriptive for we?
Predictive is
Well, I think since BI is targeting to make a comeback, maybe one good predictive analytics would be predicting the growth of customer base for its competitors
Okay. Okay.
in different areas,
Hmm.
so that then it can plan its strategy accordingly.
Okay. Fair enough. Anything on the prescriptive side?
prescriptive. Prescriptive, I think they have to create or optimize the marketing spends more
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
to advertise and give good services to customer, like customer support
Hmm.
uh, improvement and the network efficiency also, and the offers.
Basically, redesign customer experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. So I think it's a good effort to look at jotting down both the aspects of Geo and Vodafone Idea over here. Now, while you did this exercise, I think there would be a broad clarity in terms of two things. One is uh, the types of analytics do vary. So descriptive is for a particular purpose, diagnostic is different, getting into the reasons. Predictive is for forecasting, and prescriptive is based on those forecasts, what kind of recommendations can be taken. Now, when you do this exercise across industries or functions, you will find that uh, already we set up a direction in which we can create our data analytics program. Let me also show you the last batch. There were more people actually in the last batch. So this was the output that they came up with. So group one, which was for Geo, they mentioned that Geo has been growing, so they would want to still monitor how's the subscriber base growth happened. Which are the reasons where more regions or locations where most of the growth has happened? Was it for voice? Was it for data? On a monthly basis, how did they acquire customers? Is there any churn happening for Geo at all? Now, apart from this, whatever churn is happening, if it is for product or price, they want to proactively kind of act on that and prevent any churn while they keep on acquiring new customers. Product offers, bundling these offers, this is something again which is a part which they are looking at. On the forecast part, like you guys also did, sales is what we want to kind of have our forecasting on. Along with that, people looked at marketing expenses, churn, um, customer lifetime value, and any critical acquisitions needed to kind of, for the company to grow even faster. Prescriptive side, they mentioned that, loyalty programs can be designed for retention, and maybe they can work on marketing mix. Marketing mix means product, price, promotion, and place related decisions. For each of the decision, there can be some recommendations which can be given on the basis of data. And then competitiveness of the offers with respect to competition. Also, prescriptive recommendations can come up. On the side of Vodafone Idea, where there is a story less about growth, more about survival and coming back. Here, like you guys also mentioned, let's first look at churn. Why the churn is happening, maybe related with other parameters like market share, financials, and so on and so forth. Look at the marketing mix also. How is it going on? How is it impacting Geo overall as a company? Any new customer acquisition, is it happening or not? Okay. And if the new customer is happening, why are the people coming when Jio and Airtel is already there? So is it through referral? What is the main prerogative of these new customers? On the diagnostic side, like how we look at the reason for churn, how can we improve technology, ways to reach out to new people? So this improved technology was part of the 5G part, which you guys also mentioned. Uh, Forecast market share, merger and acquisition, and shareholders value. This is what they mentioned in the predictive part. In the prescriptive, people mentioned about customer experience, which you guys also were talking about. Along with that, loyalty programs is an area which Vodafone Idea should look at. Okay. Now, broadly, you will find that the directional aspects of setting up the analytics program is not that complicated. We break it into 4 parts, look at the company story and the industry standing, and then we start strategizing for it. Similar way, you will find that there are few examples which are given on your upgrade asynchronous content. Okay, I think, yeah, you guys can also share your number. Okay, by the way, I'll also take this moment. I'll just share my credentials just in case if you guys have any queries beyond the sessions, please feel free to reach out on this email ID, or you can also find me on LinkedIn. You can type this on LinkedIn and find me. Okay. So I was mentioning about the asynchronous content. Over here, similar to what we did on the telecom side, you have a story for Starbucks and Ghana.com. Maybe when you get time, go through these 2 case studies. You will find that they are quite interesting from the perspective of the analytics program. And there are some good insights that you can garner from them. Apart from this, if you look at how marketing analytics is set by the business context, so it does vary. It does vary, like we see in case of Geo and Vodafone Idea, but it also varies on the type of business that we have. Okay, so the business model impacts the analytics approach. And if we have a B2B business, which is where one company is selling its products and services to another company. We call it B2B. In this case, the analytics metrics that we will look at will be different as compared to B2C, which is business to consumer promotion. So an example of B2B will be Maersk's. When you look at the shipping company, they are providing the transport services to other businesses itself. So here, most of the decisions will be logic driven, focus on time, money, and resources saved, and they will be favoring in-depth promotion whenever they're kind of reaching out to their clients. Whereas in case of B2C, let's say a company like Britannia or Nestle, then here we want to have very simple and easy messaging. Emotional aspects is the area where we are looking at the impact and understanding it better. Then focus on the benefits and solving problems for the target segment. So that is how even our metrics or the program will be driven on with a different approach. Some examples over here is, for example, I'm sure that all of you will be using LinkedIn. When LinkedIn wants to promote their marketing solutions to businesses or companies, they do it by having a very tailor-made promotion approach. So if it's a small company, they will float a different offer. They will reach out differently as compared to a mid-size or a large-scale business. Even the offerings that LinkedIn Marketing Solutions has developed, the types of ads, the types of campaigns, this is different and tailor-made to industry, function, and even the objective with respect to the product. So the marketing analytics program here will be formulated quite differently as compared to, let's say, if you were working for a company like Coca-Cola. When Coca-Cola wants to promote their products, they're trying to reach out to the masses. And by the way, over here, the heading of the slide is a problem. Let me just change it over here right now. This is Coca-Cola as an example. So over here, when you're looking at this masses approach, this is where we will work on a segmented approach. Okay? So we'll create target segments, define them on the basis of segmentation parameters, which probably we'll explore in the coming sessions also. And then we reach out to those segments with our particular effort. So this segmented approach is what major brands you will find will do. Their analytics program will also reflect that how a particular segment is behaving with respect to the marketing actions. In the process, we collect various types of marketing analytics data. A lot of data is actually related to customer, which is customer data. We're trying to identify the segment. This can be in terms of demographic, behavior of the customer, interactions. Is it happening on the online front, offline front? Then every company has internal core marketing data, which is on the financial and the non-financial side, revenue, market share, profit, margins for products, and so on and so forth. Another data which has been added to the analytics program is social media data. So here, though we don't have very concrete observations, but we can typically see how is the sentiment of customers for our products, services, and brand. Is it positive, negative? Are people liking, commenting, sentiment-wise? Are they engaging? This is what we try to generally gauge. On the macro environmental data perspective, also this does impact the industry overall, and then of course the company within those industries. So we try to monitor the economic level data on this aspect. And the last piece is brand equity data. Any marketer would want to understand, is the brand equity building up? Okay. So for example, if you look at the brand values in India, can you think of the brand name which has the highest value in India? Which brand comes to your mind? Highest valued brand in India, an Indian brand. Any guesses? Highest brand equity in Indian market for a homegrown brand. Okay. You will find that there is data available on internet itself, but Tata stands at the top, followed by Reliance at the second place. And then you will find a lot of banks like HDFC, SBI, and so on and so forth. But these brand, let's say from the brand value, yeah, HUL also, by the way, Hindustan Unilever. So these brands from their value per se stand at the top. People are able to remember about these brands when they are deciding on the products and so on and so forth. So this brand equity does play a lot of part, and we see it in three areas. Awareness. Are people aware about the products and the services of the company? Are they able to recognize when they see the product that this product belongs to a particular brand? And are they able to recall if they're asked about a particular category and so on and so forth? So we look at the brand equity data as well. Now, here is one last case discussion, which we will kind of take it forward in the sessions going ahead. For now, I'll just set up the approach. So over here, in fact, we can think about it and come back in the next session. This case study is actually about my own venture itself. So we started FinTalks in 2019. And initially, the idea was that, we will create content in the sense of how people can invest in stock markets, mutual funds, debt, and other instruments in the Indian market itself. Okay, and this is where we started creating content, good content, very well analyzed, and started putting it up on a blog. That blog was our website for fintalks.com. The idea was that we will create good amount of traffic on the blog and then monetize it via advertising. But then we spent 6 months, and the advertising front, we submitted our website twice to Google. We could not monetize the website through Google Ads. Then we started thinking for other monetization approaches. So this is where we launched these workshops, stock market investment workshop, mutual fund workshop, and we started doing it for both B2C and B2B industry. At this point of time, we have customers coming in from 35 countries, in fact, 37 to be exact. And these are all Indians, which are the customers, have attended the workshop, and then they're creating their portfolios, and we try to connect with them. Now, currently, we have reached around a base of 10,000 customers. 8,000 to 10,000 customers are there, which are active. Now, the idea is to kind of monetize 10 crores from financial education. And we have not defined or set up a timeline particularly, but 5 to 10 years is where we think that 10 crores from financial education is something that we can monetize it for. Okay. Now, this is where the idea would be then for this kind of a setup, which are those metrics or marketing analytics that should be monitored. Okay. And we can think again under descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive part. You guys can think about it. And in the next session, probably we'll discuss it. Otherwise, I'll share what has been our experience so far, what has worked, what has not worked. And you will be amazed how simple the marketing analytics approach is, and still it is effective. Now, maybe you guys will come up with ideas which will make it even better. Okay. So on that note, I think this is where we'll end our session for today. If you guys have any questions or queries, do let me know. Otherwise, from the summary perspective, we have broadly discussed about marketing analytics from the business perspective. Looked at the concept of marketing. I think we are all aligned with respect to the marketing concept. We looked at data analytics into the 4 important parts and the 3 important areas with respect to the customer funnel. Also, we started looking at a few exercises where you guys brought in your own experience, your own observations, and tried to structure it out. This is the context which we'll carry forward to our sessions going forward. And again, thank you guys for joining in today on a Sunday, and we take it forward, catch back on Tuesday for the next session. Okay. All right, Subramania, thank you. And I wish you a good Sunday, and we will catch up on Tuesday. Okay, thank you, everyone. Take care. Okay, guys, happy weekend. We'll catch up on Tuesday for the simulation part.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.